What are you going to be doing May 26th? May 26th at 12:01. Or you're New Yorkers, right? So am I. At 3:01, we get up, right? And we watch 15 episodes of Arrested.
Well, we were actually just discussing before you got here with, as an audience, we want to watch them all in a row or once a week and then have discussions.
I think 15 is a long haul. I mean, comedy's hard, you know? I would go 10 seconds, stop, and then go. No, I would go. I'd probably do, when I gang tackle it, I go 1, 2, 3, something like that.
1 or 2 or 3. Yeah. Take a break, have a little pasta, walk around the neighborhood, let that digest.
Do you like pasta?
Yeah.
Oh.
Sure.
You know
what's
cute.
funny about seeing you here is last week everybody was excited because the banana stand was out
I know,
front.
and I was looking for it today because I was going to go, and it's not here.
No.
Where is it?
They keep moving it from city to city.
There's only one banana stand?
Yeah.
This is a big organization.
Yeah, I know.
You know, someone just gave me their watch.
Why did that happen?
You know, fandom is very interesting. People do funny things. But I think it's like $8.
Yeah, but someone said I love the show. Take this watch.
You have no idea. Yeah, I mean, you have. Our fan base is so fervid. A guy at the airport the other day said, came up to me and I said, yes, and he said, listen, just say the following words to me. I said, okay. There is always money in the banana stand. And he said, thank you, and walked away. No picture, no nothing. Isn't that crazy? Yeah. No, I'm very honored. You know, I'm in a very funny place in my career. I'm doing this, and then I'm doing Amazon.com.
With the Onion.
The Onion.
Yeah, which
Next
is
year
hysterical.
I'm going to do a series for the post office, and I'm just going to mail my performances all over. So I don't know. I'm the internet spokesman all of a sudden.
Well, I saw the Onion thing. It's very, very funny.
Thank you.
Very, very funny.
Thank you. They're in the throes of decision right now, so maybe you'll write a letter.
But I will. I'll write a letter to Amazon if I can get their address.
Buy a book.
But
Are you a Prime member?
Yeah, I am.
That sounded wrong, didn't it?
Yeah. I'm also a Prime number, but no one ever brings that up anymore.
No one.
You know, not since high school.
Right.
But you know,
where did you go to high school?
In Chichester, in Pennsylvania.
Oh, I was just there.
Really?
I just did the commencement speech at Penn State at Lehigh Valley.
Wow, really?
Oh, could you have a little more?
No, but the thing is,
holy mackerel!
I felt bad.
I just shit my pants.
But see, the thing is, I thought maybe you would get to do it at State College.
You know, I would think so too, but no, they were great. I would go back to. This is a shout out to Penn State at Lehigh Valley. You look so much like my cousin Adrian. You're not, are you?
That's Adrian.
Wouldn't that be funny? You look so much like Adrian. Not you, sir. You. What's your name? Oh, you're not.
What a great opening line, I guess. You look like my cousin.
Oh, yes. Well, and the end of the commencement speech, I had them screaming, "There's always money in the banana stand." It's a great motto. You know, there was, when I first said that in the pilot, there was really money in the banana stand. Now it's become this positive saying, you know, there's always money in the banana stand.
As if that's something we can all hold on to.
Did you get good grades in high school?
Oh, no. I was a problem child. Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
You were a what child?
Well, kind of a problem.
What was your problem?
My problem was I'd rather be doing what we're doing outside of the school.
Yeah.
So I'd rather sit out front and hang out all day.
F's. Did you miss?
Well, yeah, I missed quite a bit of school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because there's other things.
Do you see the room just go dead, by the way?
Well,
yeah. We've just lost the interview, by the way. It's over. People are now going to television. People are switching us off.
Well, that's because people thought
we were
now
flossing.
We thought we were going to be talking about you.
Oh,
not the guy they already know.
I always do that. I always. You know, I'm a teacher. You know that.
Yes, you're a great acting teacher. Well, a lot of people come from all over to work with
5,
you, right?
10 miles. Yeah.
5, 10 miles.
Yeah, but I'm always interested. I'm always interested in the other person. I still don't get it. Oh, you know what my son said the other day? In the car, he said, you know, I hope you retire. What a thing to say. And he's 8 years old, and I said, I can't. You're 8 years old.
Right.
And then the other day, I was buying him an action figure at Rite Aid. Can I say Rite Aid?
Yeah.
And he went, yes. And then he said, by the way, love your work.
You know, when you did your yes move, when you did that with your,
Yes.
that reminded me of when Hank Kingsley would do the. When this was when you wanted to have sex with someone, you would take
goodness!
You would take the forearm. I'd like to give her a little bit of the old.
Wow!
One of the most uncomfortable things.
Did you ever see my sex tape? Not mine.
No.
Hank's. You never saw?
I've never seen
Hank Kingsley had a sex tape.
Yeah.
You never saw that?
No.
Oh yeah. I had to do my first sort of nude scene with my little tuchus walking to the door. Tuchus is Italian for...
Oh, it's Italian now. Yeah. Well, they're close.
Yeah.
It's all the Mediterranean.
Yeah. I was very, very nervous during that shot.
Is that right?
Yeah, and I kept hearing Gary Shandling laughing hysterically off camera. You like Gary Shandling?
I think that you and Gary Shandling together is as good as television's ever.
I have been lucky. I've had two mentors in comedy. Well, I've had a lot of teachers, but I would say I'm the actor who got to work with Mitch Hurwitz and Gary Shandling. Those are life-changing guys,
right?
Yeah, those are guys that, I mean, the word genius is I mean, it's too often used, but they are comic geniuses.
Well, what you and Shandling did together, that show. Now it seems like everyone tries to shoot a show in that style.
Yeah,
I mean,
but you know, there's too much said of that because then everybody, you know, look, I worked with Mel Brooks in Life Stinks. I couldn't even speak. I was so, I was tongue-tied. So you know, there's these guys, the Carl Reiners, the Mel Brooks, the Billy Crystals, you know, they're all our teachers. Anybody who thinks they got the answer, they're far wrong. These are the things you learn later. $8.
$8 is what the watch went for.
Yeah.
But you're keeping it.
Absolutely. I don't have a watch.
Yeah. But you know this is New York. That could be from a dead person.
This is... It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. It really doesn't.
If it tells the time,
Yeah.
I don't care. It's in New York. Yeah.
But to get back to you and Gary, that show, what the principal people, the chemistry.
Life-changing.
Yeah, no one is able to pull that.
I knew that was going to be a hit. I knew Arrested was going to be a hit. I just knew. I mean, I've been very few people have one.
Right.
I had two. I also had another one that no one ever talks about. Max Headroom. Do you remember that?
Sure, back in the 80s.
You do?
Yeah, it was that.
You do?
Yeah.
That thing cost $2 million a year. So we were on the cover of Newsweek, and then we were off.
Then you were gone.
Yeah, we were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it started like as a commercial first, right? He did the Max Headroom thing. Was like a Coke commercial or something?
Yeah. By the way, you know who that is? He's the voice of what?
Can't put me on the spot.
Yeah,
I can do anything I want. I'm the guy who's being interviewed. It's Matt. Is it? It's the hamburger thing. He has a pointed hat.
KKK. We're gonna look.
It's Jack in the Box. He's the voice of Jack in the Box.
He's the voice of Jack in the Box.
Yeah, he's the guy. Yeah.
Well, we don't have Jack in the Box in New York.
Okay.
So
I'm hungry, by the way. You got anything?
We do.
I'm hungry.
There's always bananas in the money stand.
Yes. Does anybody have any food? Does anybody have like a bagel?
What do you want? A bagel or something? We'll send down. Yeah, let's get him a little nosh.
And if you could loan me $20, then I'll be on my way.
No, we're gonna take care of it ourselves.
Ask me anything. I have 4 kids. 8? No, I have 5 kids. That's how fast I am, by the way. I have one who's older.
A new baby.
Yeah.
Just happened.
I have one who is a professor of European history, Molly, at CW Post. And then I have an 8-year-old, Gabriel. I have a 6-year-old, Evie, and then 2 3-year-old twin boys. So Daddy has to work.
Yeah, you have to keep going. But you took a nice long break in there, right?
We call that a long time between drinks. Yes. Yes.
And how long? At what age do the kids start to figure out that Dad is very, very famous?
Gabriel, the 8-year-old, the one who told me that I wish I could retire, does not like my being famous. I'm not famous. I've walked with famous people, so I'm well known. Famous, you don't even, that's a whole different scene. But he does not like the fact that people come up to me and talk to me and do not recognize him. And he doesn't like that.
Yeah, right. It is a strange
I'm not kidding.
thing, yeah.
They don't even talk to him or look down, you know? And you can't understand why Daddy's taking pictures, because that's the new autograph. And so he doesn't like it at all.
No, I can understand it, because when you're a kid and your dad finally gets home, you want his attention, you want to talk about yourself.
Well, I don't do autographs in my house.
Well, no, that's true. But I'm saying that once you go out, you know, he feels like that's his time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and now here you are, you belong to the world.
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I think that's part of it. You know who taught me that was Henry Winkler. Henry Winkler is the, do you know him?
Sure.
You don't know him.
No,
right?
he's been in.
What do you mean he's been in?
Well, he comes in. I mean, we've done this type of thing. I don't know him the way you know him.
I have no idea where we are, but how do you think I know him?
Well, I thought you know.
Married to
I thought it was like a show business working.
He
together.
is a very good friend of mine.
Yes,
and
well, then you do know him. Then you do know him. There was no reason to put pressure on me at all.
I'm not married to him.
This is just cruelty. It's honestly.
I'm a tough interview. I'm terrible.
Yeah,
I like to be bad.
Yeah.
The other day,
everything so far is edited out, so you don't have to worry. This is all gone.
The other day, we were going on a conference call. We were all, and the operator came out and said, "Your name, please." And I said, for some reason, I don't know why I did it. I said, Jerry Tamblin. And they went, "Oh, you're not on the thing." I said, "Oh, I got to look it up." I don't know why I did that, but I like to fuck with people.
You do?
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Well, you know, I want to take that back to Hank, which I think the character you did with Hank, I never saw this done.
I think they went to a deli to get that Diet Coke.
Yeah,
this is like 30 minutes ago.
No, it's right there. They laid it on the floor for some reason. Yeah.
Oh, my.
And by the way, that says...
I don't feel stupid at all.
That says, with love from Max Headroom. There it goes.
Okay, good. Here we go.
So you've plugged Coke, Rite Aid. This is going to... It's good to know.
Do you know that I'm the voice of hummus? That Coke just went right through my nose.
You're not the voice of hummus.
I am the voice of hummus. I am. I'm the voice of two things. I'm the voice of hummus, and I'm the voice of Miracle Whip.
So what do you do as the voice of hummus?
What do you think I do as the voice of hummus? Do you think I dance as the voice of hummus? I talk.
Yeah, you just talk. Okay.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's edited out also.
Okay, good.
Now, I just want to ask you...
Oh, this is serious.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't get that. I thought we were on TV.
We were supposed to have more signage behind you to let you know.
Are you going to watch Arrested?
Yes, I am. I'm going to...
Are you going to watch? Are you going to go 15?
Yeah, I'm going to go off 15.
Do you have kids?
Yeah, I do.
Do they all watch together?
Yeah, actually, it was my kids that demanded that I watch this show.
Yeah.
So I started watching DVDs, and they're like, "Quick, catch up! We're trying to save
you're a new
this."
audience.
Yeah, they're trying to save the show.
We have our regular audience, and then we have a younger generation audience. Now we have an older generation, and the fan base is huge. I mean, it's real. I know I joke with the watch and everything like that, but my goodness, they're loyal, and they're the reason we're back on.
And this doesn't happen in TV where you take years of a break and, let's bring the show back.
No, it's their show. And the fact that we're sending it out Netflix, I think they're very appreciative. Yeah, guy's yawning in the second row.
That's
I always turn into the yawn.
Right.
I always notice the one guy yawn. Everyone's going like this, but I get the one yawning.
Yeah.
Are we not keeping? Is not anything you want specifically? We can go faster if you like.
This is the voice of hummus, goddamn.
I am. What? You want to hear the voice?
Oh, that's amazing.
That's hummus.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Where do they start doing that to you on the street? Whoa. So this is a wonderful thing to get the cast back together.
Yeah.
And the odd thing is, people have been hounding that cast, whether it's in the press or whatever. When is this coming? When is this coming? Now it's here.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a little bit of Newtonian physics for Mitch Hurwitz to get it all together, because 9 of us have, because of the show, gone on to do other things, except Jason.
Right,
Jason,
he's struggling.
He's struggling. He can't get arrested.
Yeah.
And but other than he, and so he had to sort of get a time. And when Netflix came on, it just burst. And it all just we love Mitch and we love each other, and so we all want this to happen. And I think here's what I think is going to happen. You heard it here. I think we're going to do these, then we're going to do the movie, then we're going to do these, and then I think we're going to do the movie. I think it's going to go like that. If I were a businessman and I said no to this venture, I would be a stupid man, because the fan base is so huge.
Yeah. So you think this is just going to go on?
That's me. I believe that if you're good and you communicate and you don't dumb down and you love your audience and you appreciate them and they know that they're going to watch and watch and watch and they get you. No, audiences are underestimated. They really are. I mean, people dumb them down and they go. People are smart.
Yeah, except for that yawner.
Except for this guy. Well, he's out. He's asleep now.
He's good. Yeah. Thank God. Yeah. Now we can party.
Yeah.
We've finally got the baby down. But it's got to feel amazing to know that you have an audience that really, really wants that show back.
Yeah, and we played it. Well, here's an interesting thing. When we went out to L.A., it's called Chinese Grauman's Chinese, and it's a very famous. My dad took me there when I was 8 years old, and here I am on the red carpet in front of that thing. We go in, we watch. My shoulders were like this because I went, "Is this gonna deliver?" And I've never seen it, so. And I was sitting right in front of Mitch, and I was like that. And the first laugh came. Oh, but previous to that, Mitch went up to to introduce all of us, and he went up to the microphone. They gave him practically a 5-minute standing ovation before he even spoke, just to thank him for the Herculean effort of bringing this back, because it was huge. And so there's a lot of that. And anyway, the laughs delivered. It was great. And then I was in London 1 week later, and the same thing happened. The laughs delivered. So I went, if it's happening in London, I didn't even know we were in London.
It seems like such an American show that would be that humor.
I was interviewed by the TV Guide in Finland when what the heck is going on?
No, is that an actual quote? That's really them. Right. God, how do you?
So embarrassed.
How do you know they weren't choking on something? A piece of meat?
No, that's
okay.
Hurt is we gotta go.
But I think that's.
Ask me when I lost my hair.
When, and I hope this isn't too personal, but when did you lose your hair?
It's none of your business.
See, I crossed the line. That's my fault.
16. I
16
started to
years
lose
old.
my hair.
Yeah. So at that point, you thought, I'm going to
character actor.
But you made it work to your advantage.
I never thought about it. I never thought about it. In the piece I do for Amazon, The Onion, I wear this. Oh, that's great bouffant. You have to understand. When I go into to the studio, there's hair and makeup. They say we have you for hair and makeup. I literally just sort of wave at the hair person. Go, hi, how are you? I never go over there. There's nothing to do. But now I spend moments and minutes of, you okay? Because you're starting to get naughty again.
Yeah.
You all right? Okay. You need to see someone.
Oxycontin's big now, so it's
and so I do hair now, and I love hair products and gel.
So you gel
I gel anything.
That's your next catchphrase.
I gel anything. Hi, I'm Jeffrey Tambor. I gel anything.
Wow. That was great. I heard the Hank voice.
Yeah.
I did when you picked up the Hank voice.
Yeah.
I got a buzz off of that.
You know who plays me in the Arrested?
Who's that?
Who plays the younger me?
There's a younger version of you.
I just said that.
Yeah. Well, I was trying to catch up with Hummus.
Seth Rogen.
Wow. That's great.
And do you know who plays the younger Jessica Walter? Ready?
Yeah.
Kirsten Wiig. Is it Kristen?
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig. I'm
Kristen Wiig,
sorry.
yeah.
Whom I love. I love both of these actors, so we're very honored by that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's people that normally a show wouldn't be able to afford big stars, but they just want to be part of this project. You know, you can get them to do walk-ins.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I did it because I just wanted a special billing. I wanted, you know, people have I have and in front of my name. Hard negotiation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Go for reintroducing. Would be no one's ever done.
And for maybe the last time. I really want to do that one. And for the last time, I'm not kidding.
Right. That's every Rolling Stones tour. They pull out.
Hey, you know what?
Looks like this is the end of it.
Bless those guys.
Yeah.
I mean, really? Do you see the cover of Rolling Stone? My goodness. I mean, that's balls, man.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much a ticket? Like $9,000?
Yeah, but well worth it.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Here's my life savings. Go ahead. Entertain me.
That's Nirvana. But
who's the guy who does it for like 25?
For $25?
He was married to Pamela. No, what's his name? Tommy Lee.
Tommy Lee does
$25. 25 a ticket. Yeah.
And I'd still want change. But that is cheap.
Hey, you.
That is cheap.
Hey,
is cheap.
No, not cheap at all.
Yeah. If it's a laugh, it's a laugh. We'll go for it.
You got that
We'll
right.
take it. But I want to ask you one more thing about Hank Kingsley before we go off on another weird rant, because I've never seen a character before that you hated to see lose and then you hated to see win minutes later. I thought it was the most extraordinary thing. If this guy, when he was doing well, you couldn't stand him. The second he failed, you're like, oh, we've got to save Hank. We've got to do something for Hank.
And the question is?
How does something like that take place? It's amazing.
Okay, so this is serious, the serious part. Part like that doesn't come. There's a point in your life. I was 40. He was 40. We matched beautifully. I understood him. I loved him. I gave him a great deal of respect. People would say he was a buffoon, and I'd say he's not a buffoon. When people feel things too deeply or they're too sensitive, and I am too sensitive, they become stupid. Mm-hmm. I'm stupid that way. Jeffrey, I'm very sensitive. It's one of my failings. And I loved that about him. He had a big heart. He had a small heart. He had when Larry invited him to the card party on Wednesday night because someone dropped out,
right.
He wept.
Thrilled.
Yeah. No, he wept.
He wept.
Yeah.
Because he was
thrilled. Wow. This tells me a lot about you.
Okay. I see.
A lot about you. I'm going to say it once more, and then you shut up.
Okay.
He wept. Yeah. No, he was thrilled. That I loved. That I really I loved him.
Yeah.
And there is a sort of a model. Don't you think Oscar is like him?
Yeah, there's some connection there.
Yeah. I like that side of a character. I try to get inside that character that way. I like the guys who feel a little too much.
But also could be incredibly cruel and could be really rough on weaker people.
Yes, yeah. And I got to tell you who I thank for that. There was about the third or fourth year, and I was sitting with Rip, who's a walking acting lesson,
yeah.
and Rip was great. And we were sitting there, and I said I was just mean to somebody. I think I was mean to this young lady Michelle, one of our PAs, and I said I can't stand when I'm like that. I hate it, and I want to apologize to her. And he goes, "Oh, why didn't you make Hank that way?" And I went, that's good. And I started to do that. And that was a great way to go. Because that happens in our business a lot.
Sure.
Where people think they're too much. And it's a great failing to think you're important. It's a big, let me tell you right now.
And it's also fear-based, right? I mean,
all fear-based.
Yeah, it's all fear-based.
My favorite thing is when I met Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang? Wu-Tang. I think I just ordered Chinese food, by the way. What is it? Who were they?
the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, Hank met them. And the great thing about our show was, I said, don't let me meet them. Let me come out and actually meet them.
Right.
Dirty Bastard and all those guys. It's the funniest clip I've ever seen because I was totally amazed. And these guys, they didn't know. I mean, they didn't know who I was. I mean, they didn't know who Hank was, but they didn't know who I was. And why should they?
Yes. They just came walking
But you
around
have to understand, I go there's Sting, there's Willie Nelson, after a while, we had the cachet of being a real show.
And then you could bring on people who didn't really act before, like Elvis Costello, and you and him had those bits going. They were great.
Elvis. Didn't I poop in his car?
Yes. Yes, there was a car problem.
I pooped in his car, I think. That's Hank.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
That's so Hank that he, hi, Elvis, how are you? And he got mad because he took my parking space. And I took a poop in his car.
So many great episodes.
Why is poop funny?
It is.
Why?
It just is.
And my kids say poop all the time. Actually, they say, during dinner, inevitably, they say, I have to poo. Now, poo, when you say poo, you actually see it. And poop, you laugh.
Right. Poop,
poo, you kind of go, I'm not well, I don't feel good.
Yeah. It rhymes with ooh.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I think we're done there. I think that would be a perfect commercial break.
You wiped out the room.
Yeah, just a commercial break. We just hold that.
Yeah.
That drama.
Ask me more.
Well, there's so much more to talk about with your career.
Yeah.
But the fact is, before you did any TV at all, you were here in New York playing Broadway, doing theater.
I did Sly Fox with George C. Scott.
Wow. And you're young when that happened? You're a young person?
Yeah. And then I had 3 lines. You look wonderful, sir. The day my brother died, I met with Arthur Penn because I knew it was going to be a day. They told me the night before my brother had passed away and I have to come back out to San Francisco. I had also a meeting with Arthur Penn for Sly Fox. What do I do? So I got up that morning really early. I went to him and I sat down and I said, I can't audition. I'm a mess. I'm getting on a plane. And we just sat and talked. We talked. It was one of the most incredible talks I've ever had. He cast me. Didn't have to read. That was that day. I will never forget it. But the gentlemanly way he talked to me, and he said, "I'll get you on a plane," so and so and so. And we talked and everything like that. But it's quite a day.
But that,
you know who Arthur Penn was?
Yeah. But so much of that comes from the way you handle acting. That so much is coming from inside. That he bought you as a person.
Well, some of the great ones don't audition. Some of the ones they just talk. Kazan, he would just talk. This audition thing I think is overrated. I mean, you and I know a lot about each other right now. We're just talking,
Right.
And I believe in that. Sometimes the guy can give a good audition. He can't act. Sometimes, and this is true a lot, I teach acting, guy can't audition and he can act because auditioning is hard, especially nowadays. My thing as a kid, my wish, I would pray, when are my hands going to stop shaking? Because they would always draw, they would always draw they would always look at that. And I say, just, if I want one thing, if the genie can give me one thing, make the hands, and then after a while it stops.
See, that's what I love.
And then in about 10 more years, it's going to start again.
Yeah. Well, that's neurological.
Yeah.
There's nothing you can do about that. That's just time.
Yeah.
But the fact is that so many people go, oh, I couldn't do what you do because I would be afraid. You were afraid to do, you're afraid to have the same things, but you do it anyways. That's
amazing. I don't get afraid now. I get something. It's sort of like if you go to the horse races, it's sort of that thing in the the starting gate, you get excited.
Right.
But I used to have crushing fear, crushing. I mean, I don't know how I got over it. But I was always funny, and I'd always get the laugh, and that would give me time to think. So, I mean, I remember one of the first auditions in New York. I said, I'm here to play the waiter. No, I'm here to play the father. She goes, you're the waiter. I said, no, I'm here to play the father. She goes, you're the waiter. So I laid down the track as a waiter, and I said, would you like me to leave my picture and resume? And she said, if you must. Ouch.
Yeah.
And you remember that stuff, and you have a decision to go in life. You're going to go, am I going to go bitter, or am I going to go the Hank Kingsley way? Am I going to open up my heart? I'm always nice to people. I am nice to that guest artist who comes on, because that is scary. I did a TV show. I'll just name it. Barney Miller. Mm-hmm. No one talked to me. No one talked to me. No one. And that's scary. That's a scary thing. And, their job is not to entertain me. But, I mean, so I always go up and say, hi, you doing well, and things like that, because this is scary. Well, you know this.
Sure.
I mean, they're letting you go here, I understand.
Yeah.
And that's got to be scary.
Yeah, it is. I've got to find a whole new career after this. Today, I'm back
and it's
out on the
apparently
street.
just based on this interview.
I looked up, I saw my boss is in the studio, and he's like, no, this is not working. It's not what we want.
This acting thing, people think we sit by the pool and peel grapes, but it's, wow.
Still, though, I
just had something just a week ago that I couldn't walk. It was so, it was just like, the rejection. And you hear things. I mean, here, Brian Grazer taught me this. This is acting. Ready? No, 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 yes, no, 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 no.
Yeah. And to us, all we see is the yeses.
All you see is yes. He works all the time.
Yeah, we're like, he's never been out of work. He's doing great. If he doesn't have a hit show, he's in a movie or.
Now that I'm doing porn, though, the thing is, it's opened up so many avenues.
Well, I
didn't know people my age liked porn, so that's really to do Jewish. Porn. It's Jewish porn. I'm gonna get letters. I'm gonna get in trouble. I'm gonna get in trouble.
Opening shot, Miami Beach, pans back.
Oh, God.
But I love the fact that you let people know that, and since you teach this as well, is that they are going to be told no. Over and over and over. And
I once heard a big producer, this is years ago, saying anybody but Jeffrey Tambor. And I heard that.
So. I just want you to know I want to kill that guy.
I've later become kind of friendly with him.
Is that right?
Yeah, I never let him know that I knew that. But you hear things, and the economy, things like that. It's a tough business.
Sure. Yeah. But, the sensible thing is...
Can I get my Sirius radio redone while I'm here?
Yeah,
thanks.
Sure. Not everybody knows this, but you did this pilot that you were going to be running, basically.
I was the guy.
Sirius.
I think they came and scouted this place.
Yeah, they did.
They were walking around,
Yeah, we saw some of it, and we're like, this looks just like us.
Yeah, it starred Dane Cook, myself, a young actress, Colette, I think Wilkinson. Yeah.
Dane Cook played the part of it. Looked to me like Opie and/or Anthony. That's how it looked to me. Because you guys had it down, and then for some reason you shot a couple.
In our business, you never know what happens. You never know what happens behind doors. I grew up in New York theater. The closing notice is always up. It goes down, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, and you go on your way. I have 5 kids. I got to show up every morning. I got to put on a happy face. I can't, and I'm lucky. And I go around, I do a one-man, show called Performing Your Life. And I go around, the United States and I give, speeches.
And you're able to do that in between while you're waiting for the
I do it. I just did, as I said, I did a commencement speech and I did,
At Lehigh, Penn State, at Lehigh.
At Lehigh Valley.
At Lehigh Valley.
Not even Lehigh.
Yeah, I know.
And then I did Palm Springs. What's with Palm Springs? It's 108 degrees.
It is very hot there.
Why would you want to live in the 108? There's no reason. There's golf courses and there's nobody on them because it's so hot.
Yeah.
People are like this.
But
I don't get it.
Well, I think because Frank Sinatra lived there once.
I don't care. It's not right. It's not right. And everything's air conditioning. Everything is, yeah.
You run from the car to the house, and
not for me.
That's it. No.
I love New York.
You like the city or just the?
I just love it here.
Yeah.
I'm from San Francisco originally, so I like it. There's the guy who gave us a look at the elevator. As we said, you can't get on the elevator. He has an interview. We were going up. The look that he gave us is New York.
Right, it is.
It was something. I went, that's New York.
Yeah.
It can't be done anywhere else. Where the look, actually, you lost degrees of temperature in your body.
Right. That is 100%
Yeah,
New York.
it's great. I love it.
And I remember the first time I moved to New York, I was so excited to do it. And I'm in this like little bodega, and Spike Lee walks in, and I'm like, there's Spike Lee. And the guy behind me goes, Spike, there's a line. And I thought,
that's exactly right.
I go, it's so perfect.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, absolutely. Can you show me where Times Square is, or should I go fuck myself?
Yeah, right. But when you were doing theater here, New York was even a rougher place. It was, you know.
Oh, yeah. That was, I mean, there were peep shows.
Yeah.
Not that I.
No.
Yeah. There were peep shows. There was hookerinis. There was. I mean, it was not.
Yeah.
There weren't these lawn chairs out there. Whatever those were. I keep looking at those. I said, this cannot be real.
Isn't it strange?
And they're not urine stained or anything.
Yeah.
They would have been gone.
Sure.
Unbelievable. And I used to live on 71st off Central Park West, and so I would walk up. I would go out the Broadhurst Theater, go up 11th or 10th, and walk all the way up. And those were the days. Mm-hmm. So
where you're like, I'm either going to the theater, or I'm going to die.
Can I tell? I got to tell you my story.
Sure.
My New York, my Liza Minnelli. If I can make it here, I can make it anywhere. I don't think I've ever told this story. I'm having dinner. I love diners, and this is the city for diners. Who are you looking at?
Well, I just heard a very strange sound went off, so I looked over to see what it was.
And so I'm at the 71st subway, 72nd Street. I go down, and I give the woman my $2.50, and she looks at me and she goes, and she shakes her head, no. I give it to her again. She shakes her head, no. I go, I'd like to get on the subway. She goes, and she points over to the door. And it's not the door out, it's the door in. And I go over to the door, and she looks at me, and then she smiles, and she presses it and buzzes me through.
Wow.
If I can make it there, I'll make it anywhere. That's an unbelievable story.
That is great.
No, that's a huge story. I got buzzed in by the subway lady.
I've never heard of that happening for anyone.
That was great.
Now, what was the work that you were doing that was so buzzable at the time? Do you remember?
No, that's the thing. It was just a thank you. That's New York.
Yeah.
You understand? It was, and this woman was not, this woman, I mean, she could, she could take you and I apart.
Right.
Yeah. She buzzed me through. Yeah.
And that was when you felt like, I'm home now. I'm part of
it was a moment. I actually texted that moment. I went, this is a moment. You have to understand, I bummed around these streets. I sat in Horn and Hardart. You remember Horn and Hardart? You do?
Yeah.
Remember the one on 57th?
57th, yeah. I used to work right across the street from there.
Where?
That was the old XM.
Yeah, that's right.
That building that was, I'm trying to think of the name of it, right now above the piano.
Yeah. I would go there. There was a couple other Zum's.
Right.
Zum's Coffee. I would hang out there. Where's the place? There was another one. Tasters. No, I don't know. There was one other place you could hang out, and I bummed around these streets. I mean, so that was big.
How long before you thought, okay, now I'm going to be a working actor, though? How long before you got to New York? You're doing
Immediately.
Yeah, immediately.
Something happened to me. I walked into an agency called ICM, and I became their commercial guy. So my first year here, I made $40,000 in commercials. Yeah, but I couldn't get arrested in the theater. I couldn't. The first thing, Shirley Rich, God bless her, got me the audition for George C. Scott. But you should have seen when I met George C. Scott. I couldn't speak. George C. Scott.
Yeah.
My line was, "You look wonderful, sir." I said it 3 times, and I understudied Hector Elizondo, which I later took over. And but I couldn't speak, and he sort of became my mentor. When I took it over, he sort of took care of me. I went on one night. I was an understudy, and I went on. I took over the role. In the audience that night was Arthur Penn and Larry Gelbart, and it was that night. It was that night where it was like, this is it. You either make this or you go back. And he was great. I blew my first line. The line was, "You look wonderful, sir." Something about coming and going at the same time. I always got to laugh. And I said, "You look wonderful, sir," blah, 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 going and coming at the same time. And the audience went, "That's not funny, and we don't particularly like it." And I'll never forget, he looked at me, and it was sort of like, "Are you going to do this or what?" That's my phone. Hold on, let me take this.
Sure. We're not doing much anyway.
Hello? Yeah. There's no one here. I'll just take it away.
It was a very short improv. It was great.
And so that night went really well. And he shushed the audience. He took me center stage, and he said, "You don't remember him. You don't understand. This is his first time." And my career started literally on that night. So we've all had that moment. You've had yours. You have all had yours where you go, "This is it.
Right.
This is what they're talking about right here."
Yeah.
And it was scary.
And I think that's the beauty of it. Is not so much stardom or everything, but just belonging to something that you care about, something that you love.
Yeah, and actors on your W-2 form, you have to fall in love with every part, and that's why they're heartbreaking. Like we talked about the Dane Cook. I mean, you just, when they go, "Good night," that's it. And you just have to, it's like a breakup, and it hurts. It's hard for my family to even understand it now. They don't get that. Why is Daddy sad? Because it's this job that we do is hard. You have to, my kids always know when I'm working because Daddy's mumbling. Because I'm walking around going, I just, when I did the David Mamet thing, Phil Spector.
Right, the Phil Spector.
Those are hard lines to learn.
Yeah.
And kids running around and you have kids?
Yeah, I do.
And is it noisy in your house?
Yeah.
Now, do you work well in noise or not?
To me, it's the same as being alone when I'm with my family.
Too. In fact, when it gets too quiet, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can focus very well.
But you brought up Mamet and the way that he works. To get that call still at this point of your career, it still feels great. Like, this is David Mamet,
Yeah, it's David Mamet.
Right.
It's David Mamet. That's Al Pacino. That's Helen Mirren.
Right.
I always do that. I still do that. That's the pantheon. These are the guys.
And I think that's why. You let your heart get broken, and you also let it soar. You let yourself enjoy the fact that you're here. I think.
But the thing is, you have to kick the garbage can over, and then you give it about an hour of that, and then you got to go on with your life. And that's where my kids and my wife are great. They're blessings because we have to get on with it. There's piano lessons. There's, and you don't want your kids to, to think that it's, you want to teach them how to deal in adversity. These are tough times. And a lot of parents don't. They teach how to be, how to be when times are good. What we don't teach enough is when times are tough. You have to think not only of yourself, but you have to think of the other person. And that's a tough one. That only comes with age, because at first you only care about yourself.
Sure.
You know, and what the reviewer thinks of you.
Yeah, when you're young and you have kids, you're like, let's go. There's rules to life. As you get older, that's when you learn that the ground's shifting all the time and how to roll.
Now look, are you going to be worried about what the Times thinks of you, or are you going to be, when your kid, which is fine, or are you going to just? I will still never forget about a month and a half ago, where my 6-year-old put it all together, the reading, it all came together in one night, and I was there, I saw her do it, and she went, oh, I get how you read, and she just read. And I was tears just falling. Now, that's important.
Sure.
That's important. The other stuff, not as important, and you got to learn that.
It's act like a man.
But it's funny how you as a parent, you go, oh my God, that's my father. My father did that.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I can't believe I did that. You know.
I think that's the first time that you start giving your father a break too, where you're like, oh, okay.
It's so tough.
Yeah.
I mean, everything I ever thought about them, and they were tough. They were tough guys. My dad was very funny when he was afraid. Even though he was a boxer and the whole thing, and he worked in the CCC camps, he was a tough guy. He was 6'3", but I'd say, Dad, I got a lead on a Broadway show. He goes, shh, 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 shh. I said, Dad, I just got, shh, 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 shh. And his whole thing was, don't tell anybody. I go, what? He said, don't tell anybody, because they'll take it away from you. Because he came from that generation.
Sure.
Because they did take it away from him. You know? They did. I mean, his father and his father's father, they not only took it away from him, they took away their families, they took away. So you don't celebrate, which has been a very, very tough thing for me, because I've had a lot of nice things said about me, and I've had some honors. And it's hard for me. Success has been more hard for me than not success, because that's my dad going, shh, 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 shh. Isn't that interesting?
Feels like a jinx every time.
Oh, you just don't, you know, I'm going on, I'm going on the weather. Shh, 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 shh. So I do notice that anyhow, that's that.
Well, you know, when you're a kid and they tell you things, you're like, that's the way they are. But as you get older and you look back and see their lives, you're like, well, this is how they got to that point. And for you to know what they went through and what they saw, you know, during that scary time, that's an amazing thing.
I went down in the basement once, and this thing.
Yeah,
I went down there and I opened up the chest, and I saw my mother's yearbook. My mother was a housewife, you know, and this was in the 40s and 50s, you know. You were a housewife. And I saw honor student, A in every single thing. And that woman literally put down her career to raise us. Because that's what you did in those days. It's different now, you know. And, I mean, she was an honor student. She read everything. There wasn't even time to read books in our house, because it was my brother and I, and then my sister Jody. It was rough. So you learn that. This has turned into a serious talk.
Again,
it always happens with me. I start funny and I go to this, and people start crying and weeping and calling home saying, "I'm leaving you. I'm changing my career. I can't go on with our marriage."
You see, you're a full service entertainer.
I am.
You're going to give it
right.
all to us.
Right.
And I think that's what happens in your characters. These characters, so many of them are supposed to be comedic, but they're heartbreaking. And even when you sometimes look at Arrested Development, the fact that at the end of the day, that still is about this family and the way these people pull back together, even though most of them are awful.
Well, I think that George loves his kids, and sometimes what you do in the name of love is hideous, but he believes that he's a Darwinian.
He's going to
survive.
He's going to
I'm going to throw you in the pool and you're going to swim. And I love you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
I hope you don't drown.
You're welcome.
Yeah. It reminds me, when I was shooting in Prague, people said, do they at the grocery store, do they say have a nice day? I said, they don't say have a nice day. They say I hope you make it, you know. I hope you live. Thank you. I hope you live.
May you see dinner.
May you have a vegetable. Thank you for your patronage.
But I think that's one of the things that we love about that show is no matter what George does, the kids are still attached to him.
Yeah.
And I think we all kind of relate to that.
We have a secret ingredient in that, besides the cast and besides the wizardry of Mitch Hurwitz. The fact that they cast Jason in the middle of that thing, when I saw the pilot, I just said this piece of casting is one of the real gifts, because Jason as an actor is not only notable for what he does, but he's also notable for what he doesn't do. He never winks. He never goes, "Isn't this funny?" He plays it serious. So we can all, now you can have a never nude.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Now you can have pop, and,
right.
Now you can have blah, blah, blah. And we're allowed to do that because at the center there is this serious guy trying to raise his kid. And Michael Cera, I mean.
Yeah, terrific. There's so many cogs in that machine, and if any of them broke, it would be a problem. So the fact that they're all turning is what makes the show.
And Liza's back.
Yeah,
Liza
she's
Minnelli.
so great.
And she makes me laugh every time she falls down. Kills me. It just kills me.
Yeah.
I laugh out. I laugh out loud. And I think my favorite. People ask me what my favorite is, but when David went Blue Man, I don't know if it got funnier than that. I mean, that's just the silliest damn thing.
Yeah.
And the fact that episodes later you would see a little blue on the wall. I mean, who cares about that? And do you know that there was an imoscar.com? That you know that there was an actual site that you could go to? Someone went there. I mean, amazing. So I'm very lucky.
As well, you should be.
Yeah.
And quite.
Ask me how bad I have to urinate.
Well, the weird thing was, I was just about, with all the class and respect, about to wrap this up.
It's okay. I'm urinating now. It's good.
It was going to be so beautiful and touching.
I have really enjoyed this. You are really, really good. You're a good listener.
And
I've seen it before when the people are going like this. You know that? Have you had that?
Oh, plenty of times.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
It is so crazy. And I remember going on a late night show, and that happened to me, and I kept going like that. Because I couldn't, I had no idea, because I thought that was the most important thing.
Right.
And I did not know in commercial, they'll be chatting, and then they go to commercial, they go like this.
They just sit, You guys captured that, too.
We did do that.
Yeah, it was so funny.
I went to, Gary went on the Mr. Carson show, and I went with him, and I sat in the back, and I watched Gary go on, and what I did not know is that in the breaks, they take the lights down, and Mr. Carson and Ed, whom I knew a little bit, and they just went silent. They didn't joke around. They didn't do dick.
Yeah.
They didn't do anything. And I said to Gary, we have to do that. And we did do it, I think, for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
But that's 2.5 minutes. You go to commercial for 2.5 minutes. And they just go. And I think there was a comedian on, and the comedian did not do well in the first set. But he was on the panel, and I saw that comedian going over his notes, dying. And there was no help. I mean, they were... It's a tough business, man.
It is tough.
It's a tough business.
Yeah.
Well, I've now completely pissed myself.
Well, I want to give you time to go just clean up.
I'm going.
Clean up. Maybe get you another pair of pants.
How did you learn this, though? How did you learn to be a mensch? Well, it's over. I've completely wept.
Yeah.
So I drink more.
It's not a learned thing. It's you either do it or you don't do it.
Either care or you don't.
Yeah. But I will say, we do got to let you go on and do more things. Everybody's ready for Arrested Development, and everybody's excited about it.
Fun, right?
And I've never said this before to anybody else, but you, sir, are amazing, and I appreciate having you on the show. Jeffrey Tambor.
It was great, wasn't it fun? It was great.
Jeffrey Tambor, everybody.
Jeffrey!
carried away there.